We have not mentioned much about what was kind of the headline thing to start the day, which was Draymond Green saying that he was thinking retirement, and then the commissioner of the NBA talked him out of it.
I had a conversation with Adam Silver, commissioner of our league. I just told him, Adam, it's too much for me. Like, this is too much. It's all becoming too much for me. And I'm going to retire. And Adam said, you're making a very rash decision, and I won't let you do that. You know, we had a long, great conversation, very helpful to me. Very thankful to play in a league with a commissioner like Adam, who's more about helping you than hurting you, or helping you than punishing you, or, you know, he's more about the players.
Do you know what's interesting? Every time I've heard this today, the majority of the responses I hear are people going, come on, man, I'm retiring. It's absurd. Walk away from $90 million. Give me a break. And I thought to myself, golly, you're taking this really literally. You don't think that Draymond Green, when he was suspended already for the second time this year, you don't think there was a minute where he was like, dude,
forget this.
I'm out.
For sure.
This is exhausting. He's mad at himself. He's mad at others. Like, to me, that's an obvious place where mentally you would go.
Right, but
it was probably fleeting.
Yeah, to put voice to it.
Yes.
And that's where I think it speaks to just how low he was, like you're saying, because you get suspended once for 5 games and you feel like, man, that's too harsh. F this league. I was defending my teammate, and I got 5 games for that. Come on. And then the Nurkic thing happens, and you're suspended indefinitely. I'm sure Draymond's reaction was, I'll forget this. I can't do anything. Now I'm suspended indefinitely. You know what? Forget this. I don't need this. I'm out.
I mean, you know,
so I get that, but
of course, it's
to
not
put voice to it, though.
Yeah, but it's not a rational thought.
It's rash.
Yeah, like
you can't spell rational without rash.
You ever get to a point like late in the day? It's been a long day. Everything's going sideways, and you're like, you know what? I'm going for a walk. I'm out of here,
dude. More than you know.
Yeah, and then 4 minutes later, you're like, that's my family in there. So I think I'll go back now.
Why do you think I still get entreaties from realtors in Eagle, Idaho? It's because
were you moving to Idaho?
Eagle, Idaho,
You Googled
Coach.
it?
I did more than Google it. I was looking for houses, and this is about 4 or 5 years ago, and Supper always gives me a hard time. Like, oh, you going to Idaho now?
We're going to Idaho.
You going to Idaho?
Yeah.
It's kind of a joke. And
we're going to go to Montana.
Well, Idaho, actually, that ship has sailed because 5 to 7 years ago, you get yourself a nice house. Eagle, Idaho is about 30 minutes outside of Boise.
It's like, I know exactly where it is.
Of course you do. I've never been to Boise. I might have been through it.
Thank you for pronouncing it right, though.
You and I, we've had this conversation.
Yeah,
they get mad.
Oh, they do.
They get super mad.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'm going to Eagle. That's it. So speaking exactly what you're saying, you get to that point, it's like, fed up with this, and I'm mad at that. They're not going to find me.
Has any teenager ever not contemplated running away? In the history of ever. You wouldn't last 8 minutes.
I had a sister who would run away like twice a week.
Right.
It was hilarious.
And then they get hungry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to hold the door open for her.
Yeah. So, did Draymond go, you know what, bleep? Of course he did. Of course he did. Doesn't mean it was, real. He was actually going to file papers.
Well, he had a conversation with Adam Silver, and Adam was like, no, you're not.
Yeah, calm down, buddy.
No, you're not.
Right? You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM and HD1 San Francisco, always live on the free Odyssey app, Twitch and YouTube, powered by First Norco Credit Union. Do you know what I heard Adam said to him? He was like, look, don't let Dibs get to you. Just relax.
Draymond, go bye-bye.
It's okay. You still got a lot of hope left in you.
Draymond, go bye-bye.
Exactly. All right. How about, let's go to Sister Agnes, of course. Hi, Sister Agnes. What are you doing?
Hey, Willard and Dibs. Hey, Dan, I just want I want to wish you a happy New Year. And
Sister, I love you, and I love how much you've done for our society and the Lord. Watch your mouth. It's past the 7th, and you know better, sister.
Well, listen, your audience is rough. I mean, I took a beating last Friday, but I love your leadership. You really you honed the argument down so beautifully today. But this is what I just want to say about Draymond. I think that the sincerity that I heard, I listened to the whole thing when I got home from school. And what I heard was, whether you go to Nehemiah or you go to Galatians, wherever you go, there's a blessing. He said, for those who have faith, this is a blessing in disguise. And that, to me, told me a lot because, young kids today, they use the F word constantly. They use foul language. And he used a couple foul language in there, but he was really sincere about looking at himself. And, you can't change unless you want to change. And it was really evident that he wants to change, and he sees this as a great turning point in his life. So, let's hope that that's the case. And I agree with you fellas. Never touch the big three, but the others, we'll see what happens. Like Festus says, we'll just see what happens. They're fun to watch. They're always fun to watch. Everyone agrees they're fun to watch, and you start meddling with that big three, and you're not going to have fun to watch.
Sister Agnes,
Thank
I
you,
agree.
sister.
Yeah, I agree with you completely. Thank you so much. I think that this is sort of where I'm at on that, because for all the reasons we've stated today, and it's not just loyalty, it's the fact that it would be a bad move. This is a bad business idea to move one of these guys for tiny little parts, which is what you would get right now. The Steph thing is different, and who cares? That's just absurd. So you're not moving Steph Curry. Draymond Green, 4 years, $100 million, suspensions. You're not getting something for Draymond Green. You're not moving Klay Thompson. I could be totally wrong. I would be shocked if any of that happens. But it's just a bad business move. Now, everything else is on the table, but if I'm a Warrior fan, and I am, this is what I would hope for at the trade deadline. I'd love to see something that could improve the team. Continuity, maybe size, a heady player. I'd love to see something improve the team without trading Kuminga. That might not be possible. And so is a Kuminga deal on the table? It has to. You have to listen.
Yeah.
It has to be on the table. My first hope would be, can you tweak this team in a positive direction without dealing Kuminga? That's choice A.
Yeah, I like that.
If that's not possible, then that might be choice B.
Well, for me, choice A is seeing what you can get for Chris Paul, an expiring Chris Paul deal, even if it costs you Moses Moody or if it costs you Andrew Wiggins. If I'm looking at assets with which I would part, I would go Paul, Wiggins, and Moody would be the big three. Kuminga would be a really tough one, but I would like to see them trade Moses Moody. Give Moses Moody a chance to go be an NBA player, because right now he's getting jacked around for whatever reason. He's not rotational on a regular basis, and I think the fans let you know the other night how they feel about Moses Moody and his playing time. The standing O of sorts that he got when he came into that game late, I think it was Friday night, that one struck me. That was a little bit of a wow moment. And it's not just a Twitter creation that Moses is kind of getting the short end of the stick. It's a reality. Fans in the building felt that way. So I'd like him to free Moses. And I appreciate Sister Agnes citing Galatians. I'm going to cite Moses.
I like Moses Moody.
I do too.
The ovation was interesting. I think it was more a statement against Steve Kerr's rotational practices so far this year. And I get it. I'm just going to continue to say, you got to stop acting like his job is easy. There's too many people who've got all this hindsight action that y'all have about the shoulda, coulda, woulda. You should have known who was going to be hot from three and who wasn't. He's clearly made some mistakes. Kuminga the other night, Moody a few weeks ago, and he's admitted those. The Moody one, he said it with his words. The Kuminga one, he said it with his actions. The very next night, Kuminga had a game-high minutes. Now, I'll tell you, though, what I don't love that he seems to be, the organization is reacting to either the fans or the frustrations of these young players. Like, if you don't have kind of the gumption to stick with what it is you're saying, if you think that Kuminga should not be in there in the closing five, then just because his agent's called shams, the next night, now he's got to play 36 minutes? That just felt a little bit flimsy to me. I'm not even saying Kuminga shouldn't play. It's like you're going to react like that?
Right.
And then I get further frustrated when they do give him 36 minutes and he only scores 11 points.
He's a plus 16.
Okay, fine.
I mean, it's not always about points.
Yeah, but it was he did not have a profound effect on the basketball game.
Yep.
And against the Detroit Pistons, he should have a profound effect on the basketball game. So the whole thing feels out of whack, which is why there's going to be a move. I get that. There's going to be
Agreed.
a move because this is not working. Choice A would be to keep him, but I don't know if that's going to get you anything. The deal that you threw out there, I think, is everybody's hope, right? Paul, Wiggins, Moody. That's maybe not everybody's hope, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That makes a whole lot of sense. Moody makes 4 this year.
Okay.
Paul 30, and I think Andrew is 24.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right here, 24-3, and he's got 2 and a player option remaining, so
right.
3 years.
But the number that you're looking at as far as the return is $58 million. What is it you're going to get back that's making $58 million, or approximate to that, at least 53, 52? What is it you're going to get back for those 3 players? Because that's not a huge haul for whoever's getting them.
Right.
You're getting an expiring deal, a struggling, highly paid player under contract, and Moses, a nice young player with potential. What are you giving up that's worth $52 million or north for that?
Well, you're probably getting somebody else's expiring, or you're getting one of these, disgruntled, high-priced guys. I don't know what Russell Westbrook's situation is or what he's commanding, but, you're probably getting somebody who is, ready to be cast off from his team, or somebody who's on an expiring deal who's not working out with their current situation.
Yeah.